is also a Lalita ji is also a founder, director, teacher and performing artist at School of World Music and Dance, a 501c3 non-profit organization. As a health coach, Lalita ji conducts highly energizing corporate and academic wellness programs. Besides her expertise in consulting for renal nutrition, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, and ethnic nutrition, she has given educational workshops exclusive to performing or artists on health. Lalitaji's holistic and interactive approach to health and well-being urges her clients to engage, empower, and execute wellness for quality living. As an artist, she has been a phenomenal support to the community and her peers in encouraging, providing, and exhibiting the talents of many. With this, I again welcome Lalitaji to enlighten us on how to achieve good health. Lalitaji, please, I request you to take over and enlighten us.
Very good morning. Antariki Namaskaram. And a very good evening to people around the world and the globe. It is an absolute pleasure today to be in this August gathering. And first of all, realizing who my other speaker on board is with me, I'm only modestly, humbly saying this, that Dr. Arkala, there is ways to go before I can reach your heights. Thank you so much. On that note, once again, there is this beautiful gathering that Hariji had spoken about 2 weeks ago, I think, or last week. And then Praveenji came forward to talk to me in a very short notice. And today I'm here to be representing Vayu Shakti and also sharing some great insight about how we can stay healthy and how we can sustainably stay healthy. I mean, we're all in the path of well-being and wellness. And Dr. Hari, if I can only request that one committee, if you can add to your board for wellness and health, I think that would be a great add-on. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people and we can join hands too for you.
Definitely, Lalita ji, we will do that. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Yes. So on that note, and Praveenji, am I allowed to share my screen at this point?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So this is a wonderful August gathering that certainly has the knowledge base, the information, and needless to say, the intellectual property of how we can impact the world together while taking care of ourselves in wellness and passing it on to our fellow beings. That being said, I just wanted to kind of perk all your memories, and the fact that JNTU is from the land of Hyderabad. If one of you could just give me an answer, what was one great thing that happened very recently that we all need to be proud of for India and for Hyderabad? Anybody, please.
The Samata Murthy inauguration by the Prime Minister of India.
Recent statue, yeah.
Recent statue. So this is hopefully the next wonder of the world to be added on, and a phenomenal, a statue. And why we bring this today is because that is the embodiment for the Statue of Equality. Equality meaning that we need to bring health and wellness as a leverage, as an important entity that everybody needs to realize that is one of the biggest assets that we all need to, constantly keep flourishing in ourselves. That being said, it's not just that one thing that actually Hyderabad needs to be proud of today, but I'm just focusing more on that because there was another important event that recently happened in Hyderabad, representing a lot of the Asian American physicians who hosted their 15th annual Global Healthcare Summit. And what was the tagline there? It was preventive health. So we do see that we are onward instead of just looking at curing diseases or looking at how can we reduce the comorbidities of various diseases. How can I stay healthy? How can we stay healthy is the, is the motto today, or is the onward journey today. And that being said, all I can say is that from the Eastern medicine or from the Indic medicines, there are so many sacred things that we can contribute towards that, one being yoga. So we all do, have good knowledge or a decent knowledge about what yoga is. And today to the Western world, this is not an alien language. In fact, maybe there are many people who may not understand the nuances of it, but still the moral values or everything else that goes along is probably not put together. And at this point, I would really like to share, and I would fail in my task to not share, that I have Saurabh Srivatsava and I also have Ramki Ramakrishnan with us on board, my two partners from Vayu Shakti. Saurabh is the yoga expert. Thank you, Kumarji. Saurabh is the yoga expert and the data man. We call him our data man. And needless to say, he's got, a proficient background behind him, being an IITian, and also his passion for yoga is where he stands today and where he belongs today. That's brought him here. As far as Ramki goes, he's our marketing chair, I would say, and he is our big, man of spirit and man of passion who has practiced yoga all his life. And today he's also being alumni from the Vivekananda University. He stands to speak that yoga is a wonderful science and a self-sustaining science that can enable all of us to stay in well-being and wellness. So what is yoga to us? We know that yoga, as the Western world, we see that implied to us, it's laying down on a mat or doing different exercises. But there is more to that, whole aspect of yoga, which is actually split up into 8 angas or ashtangas. And here I would actually like Saurabh, my very good friend and my partner in crime and in health, to please speak up a few to say about what he would like to share about yoga. Saurabh, and Praveenji, can you please pin Saurabh?
Sure. Thank you, Litaji. Thanks a lot, for that wonderful introduction. I would again be very humbled. I know a lot of us here, are much more experienced than I am. So I will just, contribute to this discussion, just my own understanding of, what we are bringing to the world, what we believe in the Vayu Shakti doctrine, so to say, what we believe needs to be brought up here. But by no means I would call myself an expert or somebody. I'm just here to contribute my own ideas, right? So as Lalitaji is showing here, what you're seeing is the progression or the whole concept of what she mentioned as the Ashtanga Yoga, which is the 8 limbs of the yoga. This whole concept comes from the Patanjali Sutras, which was written about 2000 years back. Patanjali did not invent yoga, right? Yoga existed before that. In fact, I read somewhere that there were about 37 different schools, major schools of yoga that used to exist before Patanjali came in. His brilliance, his contribution to the world of yoga was to put it into a systematic, very tightly defined system, which he called as the Ashtanga Yoga. You will see that today there are many companies, there are many organizations, there are many forums that talk about health, and they talk about 1 or 2 or 3 parts of this whole system, the 8-part systems of yoga, right? I'm sure most of us here today would have heard about mindfulness. Mindfulness is nothing but just one limb of the system, which is your focus or concentration, the dharana, right? How do you just pluck one part of this 8-part system and just make that as the thing and hope that you'll get all the benefits? Unfortunately, that is not something that is very easily possible. Yes, it can be possible in some cases, but when you're looking at standardizing it, looking at creating a system, something that will work for most and not just some, you need to look at the entire system. You need to look at this whole system, which progresses right from, as Lalitaji is showing, starting from the moral codes to the personal conduct to the physical exercises, leading to more mindful breathing, leading to something which is called the sensory control, where you're starting to look back into yourself rather than looking outside, right? So the first 5 limbs, they're also called the Bahiranga Yoga, the yoga for the outside, right? And as you start getting more and more proficient in your sensory control, you start getting more and more inwards. That's where you start with what is called as the Antaranga Yoga, or what we are calling here as the mind aspect of the yoga. Focus, which is dhyana, focus, which is dharana, meditation, which is dhyana, and the mind zone, which Patanjali so eloquently declared to be samadhi, right? Those are the progressive steps that you slowly lead into. Is this the only system of yoga? No, there are other systems of yoga that exist. Is this the system that we recommend? Yes, we do. Why we do that? Because this is something that is more palatable for today's environment. In the world that we are living today, step-by-step progression is something that we believe will help, will be more effective for majority of the people. Again, I'm not making a claim that it is going to be the best for each one of you, but I'm saying it will be by and large applicable for most of you. And as we work with you, maybe in our one-on-one settings or in the group settings, we would be able to help you understand, is this the best thing for you to do? Or out of these 8 limbs, which one are the most important? Patanjali himself has another system called Kriya Yoga, which primarily depends upon just 3 limbs, right? But it is more suited for people who are already a little bit advanced in their practice. So with that, I will take a pause here. This is something that we would be happy to come back and talk more about, or work with you one-on-one. If anyone of you is interested, please reach out to Lalitaji and we can set up a separate time with you to discuss this in more detail. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. Thank you very much. I think you laid it out simply well, bringing it from top to bottom. That being said, I just want you all for a second to close your eyes and imagine if you can, at your own free will, at any given time, without anybody's influence or external influence, with your own faculties and your body skills, create that mind zone. Whether you're a corporate, whether you're a teacher, whether you're you're a professor, whether you're a dietitian, whether you're a food specialist, if we can create those aha moments, and that necessarily, that's what Saurabh was explaining, that it's a progressive development where you need from time to time be maintaining all of these 8 limbs at any given time to look at wellness as a physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and to a large extent, a mental well-being also, which one space today is certainly being a very badly hit. And I was just looking at some surveys that was done, and there is about 14,639 top C-suite executives that are found to be in stress, a whooping 53% around the world who are actually in agitated mode or in that stress mode. And this is one enabling way. Yoga is one enabling way, which is self-sustaining, which has been practiced for 2,000 years, which has been tried again and again, and it only proves for itself that it doesn't relate to any religion, but it is a lifestyle in itself, putting mind, body, and soul together. And that being said, what are some of the benefits out of this? I mean, Saurabh has certainly kind of put it together very holistically for us, but the dharana and the dhyana, bringing focus, concentration, attention, needless to say, creative, working towards your right brain if you're left brain, and working towards your left brain if you're right brain, and vice versa. Social ability, innovations at its best. JNTU is all about innovations and entrepreneurship, and that's where we really need to see that happening. And if that's what we want this to be a part of your lifestyle too. Stress relief, all of us have a good amount of stress, and it is said that to be in a competitive spirit and to be in success, a small portion of stress is important, but I think we are in a phase where the sympathetic nervous system in our body is more triggered at this point, considering all else with the pandemic and so on. And of course, fitness, like that really comes to that one limb of where you're talking about physical fitness. Immunity, I mean, I would be really preaching to a choir if we talk about immunity today, if we are not realizing the importance of that. Of course, team spirit, the sociability that you can bring, the oneness that you can bring, the equality that you can bring in with all of your emotional stability comes in with the team spirit also. If you want to be a good team player, yoga enables you to do that in a lot of ways, in a better circadian rhythm. This, in a sense, actually deals with your sleep patterns and how you can actually control your sleep patterns and actually become very efficient in managing your sleep patterns. We are all sleep deprived, especially in North America. We are a country, unfortunately, that sleeps least than many other countries that are the happiest in the world today. And also domestic peace, we need that around us all the time. Reduce and prevent chronic ailments. So as I had mentioned before, we are not talking about finding new ailments while we already have a truckload of ailments and chronic diseases that we need to actually root it out from its symptoms and go down to the basis of it. That's where yoga enables you to do so. And finally, sorry, one second. Yes. And finally, what are the benefits? JNTU can be a part with us as a part of this project with Vayu Shakti, which is what we are all about. And I should say, as a nutritionist, it's not just about physical, emotional well-being. It is also the fuel that you put into your system, which is the nutrition. So Vayu Shakti has this special doctrine, as Saurabh so rightly said, to also integrate nutrition and the importance of eating healthy as a very important prong, besides coaching going hand in hand. So yoga and nutrition is our main prongs that we are looking at with Vayu Shakti, and how JNTU can be involved with us. There are multiple avenues, there are multiple opportunities. Of course, as far as a win-to-win situation, there is 20% of revenue. There is no investment. Of course, a very important investment of your time, which is very valued, and part of a potential unicorn opportunity. We all, as a team, me, Saurabh, and Ramki, we vision this to be a unicorn company in the next year or so. And that's where we see for JNTU to be a part of us joining hands. Thank you so much to everybody once again. And I'm going to have the floor open with our CEO, Ramki Ramakrishnan, for any Q&As and any Q&As from all of you or comments. Thank you so much once again for this great opportunity.
Thank you, Lalita ji. That was a fantastic presentation, and Saurabh ji as well. I think if you want to have any interactive sessions, this is the time. Audience, please feel free to post your questions in chat so you can be brought in one by one. The first one can actually start speaking now if you wish, because there's nothing in the chat yet.
May I ask one question?
Go ahead, Kumarji. Others, please post your questions in chat so you'll be let in order. Go ahead, Kumarji.
Okay, I'll start with, Lalita garu, so how is that work actually? How is the program you try to conduct, or is there any way that we can see schedules, or how long? And
Absolutely. Yeah. We do have multiple programs, and I'm actually going to have Ramki. Are you there?
I'm there. I'm
Yes.
going to answer the questions here.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ramki. Take over, please.
See, there are two aspects. Number one, personal aspect. The other one is business aspect. Okay. If you are in any kind of a need on a specific health-related issues, today in US, I'm talking about US, people may not know the name of the president, but 100% of the American population know about yoga. Number one. Number two, you cannot find a school or a hospital or any of the establishments, this includes Veteran Affairs, into defense. I mean, name it, including churches and mosques. Yoga is being practiced. But most of them are using yoga as an asana, one of the 8 limbs. There are other limbs that we have been living with on a day-to-day basis in our home for thousands of years. Collectively, if we take this yoga, all the Ashtanga yoga, we will be the world leader in healthcare. That is where we are focused on. So we take care of the personal needs. Whomever has an individual need, just reach out to Lalita. And if you want to be our business partner, you want to be, walking along this journey with us, again, reach out to Lalita. Lalita will facilitate the relationship.
Just to be a little bit more specific, Kumarji, to answer your question as to in terms of how can we travel this path or know more. Yes, as Ramki rightly said, you can certainly schedule a personal appointment, or we could talk more offline. But just giving you an essence, right now we're focusing mainly on Corporate Energizer, which is an exclusive program for all corporates. And we do have an elder care program where we are focusing predominantly on the older Americans. And there we also would like to bring into effect the important aspects of aging, because ageism is a big concern in the United States of America and North America today. And we are giving a lot of focus in that area too. And needless to say, mental well-being is another important thing that we're looking at. So there is a lot of different products that we have in our pipeline. We also want to bring this into the franchisee model. We would like to bring this as a practice for schools, in prisons, in universities, all of those places, because once again, this is the most non-invasive science. You don't need anything more than yourself, and you need a full body, mind, and soul.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, because of the last 2 years pandemic, we are not even going to the work. Even physical exercise or physical movement is kind of constrained or limited. I think this is the best thing that anybody would like to join and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. On a personal note, I just want to ask you that. So I asked.
Sure. In fact, Dr. Hari had even said that, maybe we could probably think about doing some sessions during these webinars, but we'll talk about it later. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have a, thank you for that wonderful answer. We have a next question. Please go ahead, Keshivji.
Lalita ji, thank you for the presentation. It's very wonderful. Everybody is focusing on wellness, how to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So my question to you is, because you are focusing on your business, on the nutrition and yoga, do you have any specific personalized nutrition space? Basically that's where everybody is heading now. Is your company focusing on that personalized nutrition programs designed for specific needs of the individuals? So.
Thank you, Keshavji. And I know you have that background with food science as a food scientist. You are the right person to prong that question. And thank you so much for that question. Yes, to answer your question, the direct answer is yes. Our programs for nutritional protocols are as customized, if I may say so, as the yoga protocols. And the reason I say that with all confidence is the yoga protocols that we have has got a backing of 30 years of research from our parent organization, S. Vyasa and Vayu University, which are research bodies that strongly believe on yoga being a science rather than just a practice. So as far as the nutritional background goes, its essence certainly lays down on the Ayurvedic, on the most holistic fashion of approaching nutrition and well-being, and considering or taking into account today's lifestyle, and where NIH in itself is talking about nutrition or anything in precision, which means as an individual, as a unique personality, or as a specific DNA, how can I enable myself with a perfect nutrition or plan? That's our focus. And that is where we're going to enable Vayu Shakti to be that model, with nutrition and with yoga being personalized for each individual as much as possible. Yes.
So I request Lalita and Keshav to network after. I think you may have synergy to cross-sell your product and services. So I'll share your numbers together. So
Will do, Dr. Hari. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah, I don't see any other questions. Any final questions from anybody?
Yeah, I would like to ask one question. Lalita ji and all other members of Y Shakti. So we appreciate you joining us. And because of the pandemic, there is a lot of need for mental health also, because people are depressed, losing their loved ones. So what kind of programs you will offer? For example, if I have to introduce you to some senior homes or something like that. So they're very much depressed because they lost many people in their families and they're depressed. So what kind of things that you can offer to them?
Dr. Hari, thank you so much. That is a very, very critical and a very crucial question. Yes, we have lost a lot of loved ones, and isolation and, the uncertainty of the pandemic is probably the havoc that's created in our minds. And everybody should actually be looking at that as the next ongoing pandemic, because the repercussions of the pandemic is yet another pandemic of the mental well-being. So that being said, we are already in engagement with a lot of the senior homes. We have started our venture in New York, so to say, as we humbly say that we are a young company, just about a month old. We have a long journey going forward, but we have had very good engagement with some 2 senior homes already, 5 in the pipeline more. And we've also got some great engagements with somebody called the Actors Fund, which is engaging with senior communities. The engagement is both available virtually or in person, depending on what their convenience level and what their comfort level is at this point. And the programs are geared specifically for mental well-being, because we do have protocols for depression. We have protocols for anything that goes down the lane in terms of depression too, whether it's delirium, whether it's dementia, whether it's decline, all of these, which are certainly not things that we would like to hear and know about, but it is the fact of the day, and we need to be aware of it. And if we can actually protect ourselves and be proactive, nothing like it. So I would say, considering that we've had a pandemic, let's not have yet another one, and let's stay focused with mental well-being.
Sure, definitely. Thank you so much. And if you can stay back, Lalita ji, and as you did in the WISE conference towards the end, you could give us a few minutes of relaxation, live session to us, that would be nice. Now, Praveen, please take the next. So Sudhakar, I think, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Sunita ji, I saw your question, and if that's more personal, it can be taken offline, but do you have any general responses, Lalita ji, about generally what aspects of yoga therapy routines are available for thyroid and other chronic ailments lately?
Saurabh, if you
I can take that,
that.
yes. I can take that, definitely. I would just quickly answer this question in a very straightforward manner. For any non-communicable diseases that do not get contracted from outside, which includes infections, viruses, accident, stuff like that, right? Any disease that originates from within, modern medicine has really no answer for that. The best answer that you will find is in yoga. And whether it is thyroid, whether it is any other autoimmune disease, whether it is cancer, whether it is anxiety, depression, these are all non-communicable diseases. They originate from within. It is your body working against you, and yoga is the best answer. So, I would still again urge that, please, I dropped Lalita ji's email ID in the chat. Please take note of that. Send her a note, and we would be more than happy to have a direct discussion with you on that.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunita ji. Thank you.
Yeah, so great session, great information session. I'd now welcome our treasurer, Sudhakar Uppala, to deliver a thank you message to the speakers.
Yeah, just a quick correction. Sudhakar is our secretary. Sudhakar, take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And to start with, I would say really Lalita Ramurthy ji and Saurabh Srivastava, thank you for a great information about Vayu Shakti and giving a quick overview of yoga. We all know that health is wealth, which is like very popular saying, and we all know that. And in particular, given this prominence of the current situation, the COVID, where entire world is hopefully healing from the COVID, and this is something we all need to really focus on. And I mean, of course, yoga is yoga; it's always there, and but its prominence is very high given the current situation. And really, yoga is undoubtedly a leader to make you fit physically and mentally, but also spiritually also. So it's a great tool provided by our ancestors. And this is something like we see, I mean, instead of calling yoga, like we see like different names. Instead of calling meditation, we call as mindfulness, but end of the day, it's all part of the yoga. So it's really good to know and a new perspective of the yoga, and like especially talking about the Ashtanga yoga, a good explanation about the 8 parts of the yoga. This is very useful, and of course it's just a like a small bit of the entire yoga, and we are looking forward to really collaborate with you and spread the message, and also have this yoga to be, and it's well taken, like you mentioned, that probably we should have a wellness wing within this JNTUH Alumni Association. I think that's a great suggestion. We'll definitely look at it. And we all know that yoga is not something like not for like I would say like yoga is for your own personal gains. It's you improve your focus, you improve your concentration, stress relief, and fitness, and a lot more things. So and I request all the alumni to really look at it, and this is something you spend a small piece of your time, and that will give you a that will make you physically and mentally fit. Again, thank you for a great session on this one, and hopefully we'll have a more detailed session or detailed webinar, or maybe in person if the pandemic ends. I mean, as I said, like it looks like it's ending. So we are looking forward to collaborating with you, and wishing you all the best with your venture. Thank you. Thank you again. Back to you, Praveen.
Thank you, Sudhakarji.
Probably our community service team from JNTUH can be part of your, service where you do the services.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely, Kumarji.
Yeah, thank you, Sudhakarji, for that wonderful thank you note. And once again, Lalitaji, Ramkiji, and Saurabhji, thank you so much for joining us and enriching us with your knowledge and experience, and putting us on the path of wellness and happiness, and also personal excellence. Thank you once again. We now move to the second segment. So at this point, I'd like to welcome, and by the way, Sudhakarji was our secretary and treasurer, but now is our secretary. So agree. So let's continue with the second speaker. I'd like to welcome our president, Kumar Raniji, to introduce our eminent speaker, our very own alumnus, Wing Commander Professor Kamalakarji.
Thank you, Praveen. It is my privilege and honor to introduce Wing Commander Professor Dr. Kamalakar Arakala today. He is the president, Shapiro Foundation, Melbourne, Australia. He lives there. Formerly, he is the chief engineer, Air Force Base, Baroda. Former principal of a B school and vice principal of an engineering college. Professor Kamalakar Garu is actively involved in teaching and training at various levels for the last 36 years. He is a veteran, having served more than 25 years in the Indian Air Force. Salute to you, sir, for the service to the nation. Half of his career was on instructional assignments at Air Force Technical College, Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, at master's level to all the engineers of Indian Army, Indian Navy, Indian Air Force, defense public sector undertakings, and several for scientists for DRDOs, Defense and Research Development Organizations. He taught over 1,100 university teachers for about 18,000 training man-hours over a period of 20 years. He is a mechanical engineer, graduate from Nagarjuna Sir Engineering College, JNTU today. And we are privileged to know you, sir. He holds master's degree ME from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and ME from Aircraft Armament Engineering, also an MBA from Pune University. Of course, PhD in Knowledge Management. And recently, he's an author of #1 best-selling book, How to Become the Best Teacher. So with all his teaching background, I think we all need to read this book. And really, I learned a lot of things in this book. And let us welcome Wing Commander Professor Dr. Kamalakar Arkala to deliver his presentation.
Thank you, Engineer Kumar Rani. So kind of you for all the kind words. And I also thank Dr. Hari, Engineer Praveen, for making this happen. And I'm very happy to be part of this program webinar, and I feel humbled because you invited me to share my thoughts on excellence. Thank you very much. Now, can I share my screen?
Yes,
Sure,
you should be
please.
able to share your screen.
Yes. Can
We
you
can see
see
your
the
screen.
screen in full mode?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear all of you? Can you hear me?
Sure, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. And a very good morning to all of you, my dear fellow alumni, ladies and gentlemen, and a very good evening to all my other friends who are from India. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about passion to excel, my ideas, and how I practiced, how I got benefited mostly. What is passion? Passion is something which makes you wake up and take action. It doesn't let you sleep. It drives you to act for results. It is infinite interest in something in your heart. That is passion. It compels you to commit your energy and resources to achieve what you set forth. Excuse me. It is a burning desire that burns your calories. It is driven from within, and it is not deterred by any external environment. Your momentum will not stop in case you are passionate. And we would like to, we are doing a job which we would like to like it. But unfortunately, we may not be getting a job which we like, which we love. And then whatever job we start getting into, and then we start liking that. And then once we start liking, we have to learn about it. And then slowly, gradually, you have to have mastery in that. You should have a domain knowledge. You should be updated continually on that. And you should love it. And if you don't love it, obviously, it will be drudgery, it will be boring, it will be stressful, and you always feel that you are under stress. And then you have to find the passion. Passion is not something which you will find very in the beginning of your career. Probably sometimes you don't even know that you are passionate about something. Many times people, I know one case where this boy has done his MBBS and spent 5.5 years plus 1 year, 6.5 years, and another 2 years practicing medicine. But his passion was to fly aeroplanes. After that, he took training and went for flying, and he started flying. That is where his heart is there. He is passionate about that. And then the earlier we find our passion, the better it is, because we'll be really be happy in doing what we are doing. And then while you are able to find your passion, you will be able to find the purpose. What is the purpose for each of us? Purpose is something, slightly higher level. The thing which gives you meaning to your life. That is the purpose, not our duties and responsibilities. And then when passion is combined with purpose, that drives you to excel. That is the point. And then at this point, I would like to ask all of you, put it in the chat box. How many of you are really doing what you love? Just say me. Of course, if there are more than one, don't say me too, but just say me.
It's me.
Okay. I could see, I could get only one.
Yes, me
Yeah.
too.
Me too, yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So I can see very few, even New York Times research has brought out that Americans, only 25% of the Americans are actually loving what they are doing. Now imagine 75% of the people who are doing things for various other reasons. They may not be liking, they may not be loving it. It is not their passion. And that is how they are unsatisfied, unfulfilled. That is what the research says. Now, what the research says further, that passionate people are happier, they are more productive, and they are willing to risk, take more risks. They face challenges and they overcome. And they operate generally outside their comfort zones. Generally, they are very comfortable in operating in their outside comfort zones. And they are always willing to learn further. And they have a growth mindset. What is growth mindset? Where the mind is open for any inputs to improve. And people with growth mindset believe firmly that things can be learned. It is not that you are restricted, you are condemned, you are constrained to be like that. You can learn things. You are coachable. Your mind is open to inputs. And they limit their limiting beliefs. The main thing with most of us is that we have limiting beliefs. No, I am not cut out for this. I can't do it. It may not be possible for me. And with growth mindset, you will be able to weaken your weaknesses. You should be, first of all, able to identify, then weaken your weaknesses, and then strengthen your strengths, and then analyze gaps with an open mind. That is what growth mindset. And your goal should be goal. Get out of all limitations. That's all. That restricts you from not becoming excellent. Now, and people who are passionate, they love the job and they keep going in all difficult situations like volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous situations. All project managers do come across this type of situations. And they will be able to sail through, navigate, and they transform the possibilities into realities. All their efforts will become possibilities, and those possibilities they will turn into realities, and they are highly excited to excel. Even Steve Jobs said, I quote, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you do not love what you do, you may be successful, because success has got different criteria in different situations. You may be successful, but you may not be excellent. Even Richard Branson, I quote, there is no greater thing you can do with your life and your work than follow your passion in a way that serves the world and you. What happens if I am passionate about something and it won't fetch me anything? I have to live after all. At the end of the day, at the end of the month or week, I have to pay my bills. It won't make me live, sustain. So, what he rightly says is follow your passion in a way that serves both the world and you. And even Confucius said, choose your job you love, and you will never have to work a day more in your life. But how do we get a job which we love? Very difficult. One thing is, whatever job you get, start loving it. I know it is like arranged marriage. Risky. And find out what you love doing, and if you are smart, find somebody to pay for it. Fantastic. Absolutely. I love teaching and training. There are people who pay for it. I enjoy my training and I get my money. Now, I'm asking the second question here to all of you. I lose track of time completely when I am. This is, applicable to you. You are asking, when you are doing what? When do you lose totally track of the time? Highly immersed. I know project managers, because of the work, they will be immersed. They may even forget to have lunch, even working from home on time. Because that is not immersed in work. You are under stress there. Immersed means completely, losing track of time means you are loving every bit of it, every moment of it. When you are loving, it is not any work. It is not a stress. You are no more under distress. Absolutely, you enjoy every bit of it. That is what I am saying. When you lose track of it, that is what is passion. That is what you are fascinated about, doing something which gives you happiness. You are never tired. And there is no question of retiring. And see, if you can, turn your passion into profession, absolutely, take the case of Sachin Tendulkar. Obviously, he was very good in cricket, and that he converted into his profession. So where he will be paid. And not only that, his passion also led him to get awarded the highest civilian honor in a country can give to a person. And that too at a very young age. Wonderful. Because he pursued his passion. And go to bed with a part of your purpose realized always. You must identify what is your purpose. What do you do? By doing what, you will get immense pleasure, no stress, nothing. Still you are paid. There is a book called Ikigai. Some of you must have read it, which says, first of all, find out what you love and then try to be good at it and see that the world needs and see that you are paid. Absolutely. And when all these four things combine, that is where you are totally immersed. You get up from bed in the morning and you know what to do. No stress, nothing. Nothing hinders you. That is what is a state of being. Ikigai in Japanese means the state of being. Reason for being. In French, raison d'être. That means reason for being. See, another point, which all project managers will appreciate. One person with passion is better than 40 people merely interested, who may fulfill all the criteria to be part of your project team members. But a passionate person can even replace. This is what said by famous English author Edgar Morgan Foster. His famous book, Passage to India. Some of you must have read. Now, we are coming to the strategies to excel. First of all, be passionate. We talked about that, about what you do. If you are not passionate, you will not be able to excel. And When I say passionate here, I give you one example of a vice president of Hewlett Packard. After serving for 20 years, got all the pay, perks, position, and power, everything. He left. And this boy is doing organic farming in Telangana. And organic farming is not expert. He's learning the basics, the mechanics of how to harvest organic crops in the field, and there is no stress. He is loving every bit of it. That is passion. And the second point I would like to mention here, there is one institute, a central institute for research in Pune, and the certification agency, ISO 9000 certification agency, walked into the foyer the first time, and one lady was mopping the floor, and as they entered, she stood aside, and one of the team members stopped at her and asked in Hindi, "What are you doing?" Ladies and gentlemen, the answer the lady gave was amazing. She said, "Saab, I'm translating into English. I am cleaning this floor in such a way that anybody who steps on this floor will feel that they have never stepped on such a cleanest floor." Amazing. This is what excellence. It doesn't reside at higher levels in the hierarchy. It is at every level. And the second point I would like to mention, which I learned from Professor V. Narasimhamurthy. Some of you were students, were taught by him, and you know him, and the first names. Even after 25 years of my service, when I go back to Hyderabad on leave and give a call to him on landline and say, "Good morning, sir, how are you?" He will say, "Who is speaking?" I said, "Kamalakar, sir." "Which Kamalakar? Is it G Kamalakar or P Kamalakar or squadron leader Kamalakar?" I was squadron leader at that time. Amazing. He has not taught in the class. What is not taught in the class is the thing which remains for life. And he conducted himself like that. He was a role model. I really, say namaste to him, because such a great impact on me and my life. And not only that, I am remembering as an incident, I internalized, I practiced this. It has got tremendous dividends. And then add value continually. Your interactions, your outcomes, your outputs for everything which you are doing, whether it at home or in the office, always add value continually. Even your interactions with other people. And internalize best practices. Internalize means make it your second nature, so that you don't have to think, "Oh, I have to do this." No, it will come automatically. And be a better version of yourself compared to what you were yesterday. Simple. But that is not in the internalizing the best practices once in a while. But if you have followed one best practice, the second best practice will be along with the first one, compounding effect. I just want to narrate one thing. I do not know. I'm losing the time, but quickly. I was doing German while I was an engineering student. And then I finished my diploma and some more courses in Indian Institute of Science and all in the Air Force. Then I was required to attend a diploma conducted by the School of Foreign Languages in the Ministry of Defense. And I was invited for the Viva. I went to Delhi, and the Viva has got a syllabus that, you have to recite a passage in German or a poem. Then, sure enough, the examiner, Mr. Patwardhan, I still remember, that was 1977, and he asked me to recite a poem or prose. I recited a poem. He asked me, "Who is the author?" I said, "Myself." He didn't believe me. After all, I was a student at that time, and diploma student. How can I? And he asked me, have you written any more? I said, yes. Can you repeat, recite? I recited. No, the point here I want to share with you is, yes, always deliver something which is more than expected. It is possible. I have not written poems just to answer there. It just happened that I have written and they are available. That's how I had to share with him. And of course, listening actively is very, very important to excel. And this makes people involve them, include them. Take the case of Nelson's dad, Nelson Mandela. I'm sorry for a familiar way of addressing. Nelson Mandela's dad, when he was a chief, tribal chief, and when he goes to solve issues, and he will always go with his son, and his son used to accompany him. And this, first of all, they sit in a round circle, and he will never open his mouth. Who? The Nelson's dad. And he will listen to everybody only at the end. Sometimes in our board meetings, CMD, people will just walk in, they put their solution and end of it. Nothing. And even a youngster who wants to have these open ideas and he wants to say something, no, we know. No, I know what you are saying. If you have not heard, what are you saying this? For life, they will be disappointed, discouraged not to raise any issues. That is one. And always bond with your people who work for you. And I'm losing time. Okay. So I have, when very first posting of mine, when I was in the MiG-21 fighter aircraft squadron, and I have the chief engineer who was later Air Vice Marshal Yadvendra Singh, and his style of working was he will spend most of the time, 70% of the time at the aircraft, going around, finding out what people are doing, why are they doing, what is their name, everything. He knows everything. He is on the site, on field. He knows everything what goes on. First of all, he gets knowledgeable on the basic procedures and the processes. And also, the people who are there, they get a bond because the chief engineer has asked them their name. And he asked certain questions to explain certain things. Wonderful. We followed them. We followed this type of style of functioning. And so always be genuine. Many times we ask, how are you? After that, we don't even look at that fellow who is answering, who is giving his feelings about the reply, just for formality. No, be genuine. I learned in the Air Force, instead of asking, how are you? Ask, how are we? A wonderful thing. You are involved. The other person, they feel very elated. How are we? And remember, ladies and gentlemen, a nano correction in the direction initially will result in a mega shift in the destination. Wonderful. These things may not be connected with the domain knowledge. They may not be connected, but ultimately these will help you to excel in your primary duties. And of course, leave a legacy. And forget about it. Don't think about it. The other day, again, sorry to tell so many things which are happened with me. And the other day, the Indigo captain was my junior at one of the places where we worked together. He was flying Indian Air Force aeroplanes, and I was commanding officer of one repair unit there. And then he gave me a call and told me, sir, the other day I was landing at so-and-so airfield in the East India, and I found your gun was firing. And I told my co-pilot, see, this gun was made by Wing Commander Kamlakar. And he just conveyed to me. I felt very happy and elated. Even after, that was 95, and 27 years later, still whatever I have done, it is working, and it is being deployed. And is functional. That gave me tremendous happiness. I'm just sharing with you. It's not for any other reason. And another thing is, all the time we keep on saying that, be on time for your appointments, for your the engagements, everything. But that goes as a cliche. We come with an excuse. I know one conference I was attending, international conference on aerospace, the design of medium hull passenger aircraft in Hyderabad, and the minister was supposed to come and deliver the inaugural address. And what happened? After 90 minutes, it was conveyed that he will only come at the end of the day and deliver the inaugural address. That's not on. And we face this even in our day-to-day corporate life also. When I was vice president HR, I found that people are late. And when I said 30 minutes late, you will lose half-day pay or half-day leave you have to apply. Still, some people are late. So I found out from the data, biometric data, that who are all coming, and I organized a session like a teacher. I thought I will give group counseling and a session on time management. And ladies and gentlemen, all these people, they came 12 to 13 minutes late for that session. So you have to be very careful. Things will not work as we plan. And all of us are in the same headquarters, corporate office. Nobody need to come from outside. That's it. And another point, you should be a person of integrity. Integrity means congruence of what you think, what you say, and what you do. Absolutely. It is very tall order, but if you conscientiously practice, you will be able to do it. And another thing, ignore negative noise, which may be coming from you or coming from your immediate external surroundings or people. I'll give you two quick examples and I will close it. Almost 43 years back, when I was in the in the beginning of my career in Air Force, I was attending a program, and that program has got a 20 kilometers running, and we all were practicing running, and 1 week before we were supposed to complete the 20 kilometers, everybody, and all my friends told, Kamrakar, don't be stupid. What is this? Next week, in any case, we have to run. Let us run to next week only. I said, no, let me find out whether I can run or not. This is only to prove myself. I ran, I completed. And sure enough, next week, when the final day, when the whistle went off, and the people who said they are confident, they could not complete, they could not run. And I was the only one and who completed and who stood first in that. Now, why I tell this is, if I have listened to him, then probably next week I wouldn't have run. I wouldn't have completed. That would have left. And mind you, I never ran in my life, even in school or college, even for 100 meters. That's the first time. So it gives you confidence to do other things also. Then the last example, I was jumping from the aircraft as a paratrooper. The training, first time, theoretically we know everything, how to jump, how to exit, how to land, everything. But the moment aircraft is on the dropping zone and the doors are open, the light is green, and we are with parachutes, with the one auxiliary parachute, one main parachute, and we are about to jump. Suddenly when we look down, we see all that, the fields, landscape. It is like a good painting. And suddenly thought comes to you, why am I jumping? This is a voluntary training. If I lose my leg, my hands, I can break anything. I can land on high tension wires. Nothing prevents. And I don't know who designed the parachute, who packed it, whether it will open or not. Even if it opens, whether I will be able to maneuver in the air. So many things come. But jumped. Many people just sit down. They refuse to jump because these are the thoughts. This is the inner voice. Sometimes your inner voice prevents you to do things which you love. That's what I wanted to say. And finally, walk the talk. Whatever you say, you follow. Because in corporate life also, people don't follow what is written on the notice boards. People will follow what is implemented there. So always walk the talk, You follow, you follow exactly what you want others to follow. That's all. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I would taken time, and if you permit, can I introduce my in another 3-4 minutes my book? Yes, quickly.
Sure, please,
Yeah.
please.
Thank you very much. Now, everybody, that why, purpose of life, why did I write this book? First book I have written. Why did I write? Just because I was bad. I was mad. I wanted to make a difference to others. That is why I wrote. That's all. Simple. And also, I was tempted by the book written by Todd Henry, who said, Die empty. That is the title of the book, Die Empty. So if I have all whatever knowledge, experience, whatever the thoughts I have, if I die, and it will go, unless I convert those thoughts into explicit knowledge, the tacit knowledge into explicit knowledge, share with others. People may accept, people may not accept. That's not your problem. That's all. So that is why I wrote, and the within 14 hours I got it got this #1 bestseller rank in out of 3 categories, in 2 categories in India, and then of course simultaneously in Australia, all the 3 categories it was #1. And then of course yesterday, luckily I'm presenting here with your permission. Yesterday there is one Working Mama, South African journal, February issue. They spent about they allotted about 2.5 pages about the book and about me and about my interview, and this is what I wanted to share as a fellow alumnus, because it's a thing of happiness for me and my passion, which is resulted in this. So I wanted to share, and this is how, and these are the links. And I'm not saying that you please buy, no, not that intention. And this is what even yesterday when I was checking, 46th day continuously it is on #1 list in Australian market in one category. So I'm very happy to share this. And this is what same person now on the book also. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your patience listening. Thanks a lot. God bless.
Excellent.
If you have any
Professor,
questions, I will try and answer.
yeah. So Wing Commander Professor Kamala Kargaro, this is a fantastic presentation, and so honored to have you here. So humbled to hear your wonderful stories. So let me open up for questions. I did not see anything in the chat yet, so let me start with mine.
Yeah, I have very first question then. Kamlakar garu, this was a wonderful book. I read from top to bottom, and I also see that your percentage practicing and all those. That was a great book. I refreshed my memories, and it's a good start. And I think we all need this book to read. Actually, it's wonderful. Actually, and all your bullet points are very wonderful, and walk to talk, including everything. You say that. So in our management, we were taught that that's a part of life. If you don't walk, don't talk. That's the point. So I think that's the best part. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Engineer Kumar.
Yeah, we have somebody who raised their hand, Ms. Shobhaji, I think, and maybe somebody else. You have a question? Go ahead, please. Lalita ji, go ahead.
Namaste, Dr. Arkala. It is an absolute pleasure. I think you're a roaring lion with passion, sir. The vivaciousness and the energy that you bring in is absolutely, it's spectacularly relevant. And needless to say, you put it down in a book. All I can say is that humbly, I really feel wonderful to share this August gathering with you as the co-speaker, and I really feel very, very humbled. And I did ask Dr. Hari in person that I would like to follow you, sir, and read your book. You're miles away from us, but certainly will keep up with you, sir. Thank you so much. Interestingly enough, the TED Talk that I did was on living your passions. So this particular conversation was certainly down the memory lane. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Lalita, thank you very much.
Okay, yes, there's a question from, I don't get your name. I think it says JNTUH. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, very good evening, everybody. Hi, Kamlakar.
Hi, Lakshmi. How are you?
Kamlakar happens to be my backmate from Nagarjun Savar Engineering College, 1973 batch. I'm very happy to see Kamlakar in the very limelight. And for the last 52 years, rather, we are friends and we are continuing our relations. And I'm really impressed, Kamla. I'm very, very happy to hear your lecture after a long time, rather. And nice. Wish you all the best, anyhow. Good.
Thank you,
I
Lakshmi.
read your book also.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nice, Kamlakar. Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions or comments, anybody?
Yes, I would make one
Go ahead.
comment. Thank you. Thank you, Wing Commander Kamlakar. Wonderful to see you, sir. Thank you so much for inspirational, motivational 11 pearls of wisdom. And I definitely want to follow. And thank you for sharing your ebook in the very beginning of your launch. And I was able to read. I think I'm trying to have some of those things implemented in my personal life. And I grew up with my maternal uncle, and who summarized me when I was going into college from home first time. He walked me on his bicycle with carrying my books and everything to the bus station for about 10 minutes. And he summarized exactly what you said. He said, when you wake up in the morning, you should look forward to go to work. Pick a profession, business, whatever you do, you should look forward to go to work. At the end of the day, build your family in such a way that you look forward to go home. And whatever you do, you should not feel guilty so that you can eat and sleep in peace. I think your presentation reminds me of those about, this was about close to 45 years ago. I heard through my maternal uncle, and reminds me all the things that you shared today, something like that. And also you mentioned in one of your 11 pearls, like manasa vacha karmanya, that's what you think, what you say, and what you do. When you synchronize those things, I think things will happen. I think somebody is sharing the screen. If you can turn off.
Shobhaji, I think you accidentally turned on.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But this is amazing presentation in a lucid, simplistic way. You did this, and it is getting into our heads. But we need to walk the talk. Now, whatever we heard today, if we can implement at least daily basis, one of those wisdoms that you shared, definitely transform our lives and make us better citizens of this planet to preserve and protect for future generations as well. Thank you so much, Wing Commander Kamlakarji, for joining us today.
Thank you, Dr. Hari.
Yeah, any other questions, comments, anybody?
Hello?
Yes, Shobhaji, go ahead.
Can you hear me? This is actually Vijay Pillai from California, USA. How are you?
Hello, Vijay, go ahead, please.
Nice to meet all our folks here. I just saw that an hour ago about this meeting, and I woke up and start watching it. So, and all I can say is I know Kamlaka from our college days, and definitely is one of the person to follow through, and I'm one of those guys, a passion for teaching as well, including my engineering expertise. And I was interviewed with a tree only because of Dr. Kamlakar and my introduction to the team, and now part of JNTU's alumnus meeting today on this wonderful topic for passion to excel. Is one of my favorite topic. Could not miss it. Once I saw it, I jumped out of bed and start listening to you. And it's a wonderful message. And it's nice to share with everybody all your experiences, and that's what we look back and we feel proud of what we did and what we can do in the future as well. So it's an eye opener for all the youngsters which are coming into the field, and then also for the seniors who are exceeded their expertise and their sharing of knowledge and experience. Let's keep up these meetings on good topics like that. I really enjoyed thoroughly. And thanks to all our classmates, all our colleagues. Talk to you later. Okay, and good luck for you, and may God bless you with all of us for health and happiness.
Yeah, Mr. Kumar Rani Garu. if you have got a video recorded one, all this, his lecture, can you post it to him so that he will?
We'll do that.
Yeah, Lakshmiji, what we
It
do
is
very
already
nice.
on YouTube. We will share the YouTube link right away.
Okay, fine. That's it. Okay.
In the chat box, I'm sharing it. Please
Okay.
watch it.
It may be worth passing on to our kids.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel
grandkids too.
So I just shared in the
for,
chat box for this today's YouTube live recording, so you can watch it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, all you guys, and keep up the good work. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Vijay, for your comments. And
big clap for himself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we definitely welcome all of you to honor us with your presence every week, every month when we have these monthly webinars as well going forward. Once again, Kamlakaji, this was a fantastic presentation. I'm so honored, so inspired by you. And now I welcome our Secretary, Sudhakar Uppala, Garu, to deliver his thank you message.
Wow, what a presentation, Wing Commander Professor Arkala Kamalakar Garu. And you remembered me, my beloved Professor B. Narasimhamurthy. When I passed out, he was when he was the principal of our college. I was the first batch to come out of the Kukatpalli campus. He was my mechanical engineering professor. And really, like, we all used to respect and love him. And personally, like, he used to like me so much. Like, if I want to go to his office, I can go anytime. So, and I remember the really the love and affection he had shown on me and many times, and it was the inspiration behind me to really excel in the studies and become the gold medalist of JNTU in '85. So thank you for remembering Professor Narasimhamurthy. I mean, he's such a person. I can go on speaking forever about him. So, and just coming to your presentation, really, we are privileged to listen to you. Passion to excel, what a really, 3 words are sufficient to really understand what you said. And the words of wisdom you showed on us, like, do what you like. It's basically do what you like what you do, right? And then love it and learn, get out of all limitations, listen actively, be genuine, integrity, walk the talk. And I remember the story from my childhood. This walk the talk was very well explained by the great Saint Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. I don't want to explain all the story, but I listened. I remembered him when you said about this walk to talk. So basically, it says just don't say something. You practice and say something. That's what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, and he's the guru of Swami Vivekananda. We all know. And similarly, when you say like love what you are doing, that actually remembers me like love is only the force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. These words are spoken by the great person we all know, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So like great, really, passion into a profession. So these are all really, I mean, you love what you do or do what you love. But if you do nothing, then you will be really frustrated. You just come like a machine. There's no difference between the machine and you. So definitely, if you immerse into the work, you forget the time, and you do what you can really bring your best out of you only if you do the work which you love. Otherwise, it's just you are doing a routine job, which is of no use to anyone in the world, I would say. So really, great words. And also, like I used to even, I mean, Dr. Hari, I don't want to really take a lot of time, but I used to ask Hari, how you find time to do all these things? So he only told one thing, like everyone has 24 hours, but if you have passion to do and you are really immersed into the work, you can do wonders. So this really great words of wisdom, and really it's nice listening to you. And I will definitely read your book, and I'm hoping that it will really help us both, I mean, keep us happy and excel in our professions. And Thanks a lot. And we hope to really have more sessions from you, maybe on specific topics. And really, I can again say it's a very great listening to you. And the 20 or 30 minutes is worth we remember for the remaining part of our life. Thank you again.
Thank you, Sudhakar ji. Once again, big round of applause to our very own alumnus and Honorable
Sudhakar
Meet
garu,
Commander.
Sudhakar is V.N. Narasimurthy garu is from Nellore, right? Originally.
I do not know from where he is. Yeah.
Yeah. His daughter was my colleague in HIL actually. Usha. Usha.
I was actually mess secretary for the first year of the JNTU Kukatpalli campus, and it was very challenging. So one day, like we ran out of money. I just went into Professor Narasimurthy's office, said, "Sir, this is what's happening." He said, "How much money you want? Don't worry, just take the money, and later on we'll figure out what to do."
I know.
So
very nice person, actually.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he used to always, as you said, the first name. Yeah, my first name is Anant Sudhakar. So he always, whenever he sees me, he calls me and says, "Anant Sudhakar, how are you?" So
I know.
Yeah,
Great
definitely.
guy.
You brought back fond memories, certainly. In fact, I did a conference paper with his guidance. Just amazing. Very, very sad to hear his passing recently,
right.
but
I think it's like few years back. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so let's, we have last few minutes. Once again, thank you, Professor Kamalakar ji, to share your words of wisdom. We want to certainly spend the last few minutes interacting with our alumni and getting an energy boost session from Lalita ji and team who've been patiently waiting to the end. So thank you so much, Lalita ji. Please take it away. We have our alumni here. Please energize us. Thank you.
Just if anybody, Lalita ji, just wait for a few minutes. Anybody we could not interact before or introduce, just anybody from JNTU alumni on the show right now. If you can introduce yourself if you have not done before.
Yeah, we have a Sridhar and Ashok.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
please,
this is Sridhar.
Please go ahead.
This is Sridhar from California. I'm Kamlakar's classmate back in 1967 to 73. So Kamlakar, great job. You know, I just joined in the last part of the presentation. I read your book and I provided comments too. Excellent. You are doing a great work. And actively pursuing whatever passion you have, keep it up.
Thank you, Engineer.
I'll not take more of your time. Let's talk again.
Thank you, Sridhar ji. And we have our Ashok Chintakunta, who's our director for the New York chapter. Ashok, please introduce yourself for all the alumni here. If you can turn on your camera, if you can.
Hi, Ashok, you are on mute.
Vimla Devi.
In the meantime, Vimla Devi garu.
Vimla Devi is my younger sister.
Your sister? Wonderful.
Ashok, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ashok from Queens, New York. I'm very glad to, participate in this webinar. It's very interesting and, very well explained. Thank you for the presenters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashok.
Please
lead us the way for New York chapter. Thank you so much for accepting that role. And we have Funny Raj. If you can turn on your camera or speak and introduce yourself.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep in touch. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashok.
Narendra Parekh, if you can introduce yourself, sir. We can't hear you.
Narendra, yeah, we can't hear you, sir.
The headphones may be not working. Yeah. So while he's figuring out.
There is a Galaxy, no name.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. We can hear you.
Yes, this is Narendra Parekh. I am classmate of Kamlakar. We had a privilege of being classmates, and then it was, I'm staying at Ahmedabad, but then when I came to know that Kamlakar is going to participate in this program, I just left all other work and joined this program, and I enjoyed it, listening to the lecture, Passion to Excel. It was very nice, very interesting. And thank you, Kamlakar.
Thank you, Narendra.
Thank you. And we have Shobha Pilli. If you can introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, this is Vijay Pillai. It
Okay.
happened to be my wife's video.
Oh, please go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself.
No, I already talked. I think you guys listened
Okay.
to me. Didn't you? Vijay
Okay.
Pillai from California, Los Angeles.
Right. Okay, got it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
It's a good
Devi
job.
Reddy,
I think that's my
Devi
favorite
Reddy.
topic. Pardon?
Devi Reddy, please introduce yourself if you can.
Devi Reddy is again my nephew.
Okay, got it.
That,
So anybody else we missed before we get into the power session for Lalita ji? Please introduce. And one more thing I would like to sincerely request, please visit JNTUH.org and sign up. And there are so many positions open. We have 50 years of history. We are about 2 million people globally, alumni who graduated with JNTUH degrees. And we are trying to build a network of alumni globally. And depends on where you are, we can start a mini chapter there and grow the organization. Our goal is to help each other network and help our mother institution, which gave us this education, to shine around the world. Like Professor Kamalakar already proved this by sharing us all this knowledge and wisdom. And if we could transfer that into our daily lives, that would be great. And with this, Lalita ji, you can mesmerize us and make us experience.
Yeah, actually, before Lalita ji goes in, I just wanted to give my own personal experience with the yoga. I was practicing Siddha Samadhi yoga, probably Lalita ji you might have heard. And like after the 1 week of session or 2 weeks of session, we were all taken into a forest. And we were there in a remote place for 3 days, and they didn't provide any food for 3 days. All we used to eat is a piece of carrot every day for lunch. And we used to work 16 to 18 hours a day, fully energetic. It's all the energy that was from the yoga and meditation, from the yoga session. So really, I mean, it's my own personal experience. It's not something I saw. It was my personal experience. So that shows the power of yoga. Thank you.
Wonderful, Sudhakar. And one of our JNTUH alumni from Singapore is teaching on a daily basis yoga 1 hour, Singapore time, 7:30 a.m. Singapore time. It will be 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if anybody is interested, let me know. I will share that link also. Lalita ji, please take it forward.
Thank you, Dr. Hari. That's a tall job that you've given to. So we're going to do our best to re-energize and rejuvenate all of you. And I think our expert here is my colleague and my partner, Saurabh, who we call the yogi of our group. So if you can all kindly, and I'm going to find out from Praveen ji, since this is going to be in YouTube and a public site, if you want to turn the recording off at this point, maybe everybody is a little bit more comfortable doing the meditation. Is that okay?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
so Praveen, if you could
conclude
the session, then stop the recording. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let me formally conclude then. Thank you all for joining. We'll definitely have the session right after. So once again, it's been a great session, having 2 wonderful eminent speakers, Ms. Lalita ji, co-founder of Vayu Shakti, and her team, sharing words of wisdom on nutrition, health, and wellness. And we had Wing Commander Professor Kamalakar Garu, who's also our very own alumnus. And I've had the privilege of reading his great book as well. Energizes us with passion and many other ingredients that are required to pursue excellence and success in our personal and professional careers. Once again, thank you all for joining. We'll do this every month, second Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we need all your hands to join us as volunteers, as leaders, to drive this alumni organization forward to empower our alma mater and serve our alma mater. Thank you once again.
So Praveen ji, if you could stop the recording, and I'm going to request.
I just did.
Kindly request everybody to please turn your cameras on if you're comfortable. Have yourself seated in a very comfortable position.